Hey guys, this is Yusei here, and okay, I decided to take a break from doing my work though. Well, more or less, I actually kind of finished up all my stats homework and stuff. And yeah, I have time right now because, you get the idea. But in any case, though, I'm gonna do another deck review. But this one is not one of my decks though. But this is a deck that I made for a friend. And I just happened to finish it today, since when I stepped out to the swap meet I go to, and I just picked up a few things and came straight back. Well, that was more or less like hours ago. But yeah, whatever. Okay, so yeah, for this is a deck that I made for my friend named Craig Juan. He is a good friend of mine, and yeah, he's an awesome voice actor too. And I just got him into the game, and I decided to make him his own deck. And I showed him this deck, and he liked it. Alrighty, well, I'll start. It's gonna be judging from the mat, this is the Dimensional Police deck for the Dimensional Robo series. And yeah, so this is the Great Daiyusha deck from Set 8, Blue Storm Armada. So, of course, I gave him the starter Dimensional Robo Goyusha. I know. There are some mixed feelings about this card, though. They're saying that, like, it's really not good because you have to get rid of 4 units to do the Superior Ride, but in all honesty, I don't think it's as bad as people think, though, because this is an ability that I think you don't have to use, though, but it's there if you need it. And yeah, sure, I mean, it's a hefty cost, I'll give it that, though, but sometimes, though, it can really save you out of a bind. Like, say, if you're about to get great stuck and whatnot, then hell, it beats being great stuck, though, because you don't want to lose out on the twin drive and stuff, too, so. And he's a 5k booster, which is, it's a really standard booster, so it's pretty good. And he looks pretty awesome, too, so yeah. And besides, it's pretty epic. It's pretty epic doing the superior ride from the deck, too, so that's also a plus thing, too, so yeah. Yeah, and I think it would be a better choice than the grade 3 searcher, though, because it's like hit or miss for this deck. Alrighty, and for the grade 3 lineup, you got the 4 Super Dimensional Robo Daiyusha. What this guy does is that if his base attack power exceeds 14,000, like 14,000 or higher, he gets +1 critical for the turn. So yeah, he's pretty nifty on his own. Pretty cool. And yeah, I got these guys when they're only about like what 8 or 10 each now. I don't know how much they are right now. I think they're a little bit more expensive. I haven't even asked yet, but yeah. But yeah, he's necessary. These are pretty necessary for the deck, of course. And next up are the cross ride units for Daiyusha, the Ultimate Dimensional Robo Great Daiyusha. Now, this is pretty much what the deck is about, though. I mean, basically, like all cross rides, if you have a regular Daiyusha in the Soul, his power will go up to 13,000, so a plus 2,000 increase for permanently since it's a cross ride unit. And his limit break is a pretty nifty continuous effect, though. Basically, if there are 3 or more dimensional robos in your soul, he gains an additional 2,000 and a +1 critical. So that's pretty good. So each turn he'll be swinging for a critical. So that's like 13k. Well, basically he'll be swinging for, well, if you don't boost him, like 15k with a critical. So that's pretty good. So yeah. So that's the grade 3 lineup. Okay, now I'll go into the grade 2 lineup that I got for him, which is 4 Dimensional Robo Die Dragon. Because, seeing as how, normally in most decks I usually just run 3 of these though, but for this deck he needs 4 because you need Dimensional Robos in the Soul Line. But basically what this guy does, he's like a Burning Horn Dragon clone. Basically, if you have when this card attacks and if you have a Vanguard with a Dimensional Robo in its name, it gains a 3k boost, so if you have an 8k vanilla behind it, or something similar, it'll hit high for like 20k or 19k and stuff, but I didn't put the 8k vanillas in here, though, but this is still a very handy card. Alright. Next up would be 2 Operator Girl Mika. This is like your clone for Maiden of Libra. Basically, whenever she hits a unit that she attacks, you can counterblast 2 and draw. So this is a good viable option for this deck because this deck really needs hand advantage too, because that way you don't have to worry about minusing too much. Alrighty. Next up, I decided to put in 2 twin orders because with all the dimensional robos that you have as grade 2 are mainly just around 9k each, so I thought he can probably use like just some extra defensive purposes, I guess, or something that can actually hit hard on its own, like because like most units are like 10 or 11k, and this guard can be. But I only put 2 since he's not a dimensional robo. Just like Miko's not a dimensional robo as well, so I just decided to give him 2. And then the last 4 cards for the grade 2s lineup is Super Dimensional Robo Die Lady. Again, since there aren't really many dimensional robos out, these are like the only viable options though. But a lot of these effects only trigger when they're rearguard though, but still, you need dimensional robos in the soul, so yeah. Okay, so basically when this attack hits a Vanguard though, you can choose one of any dimensional police unit against 3k, so yeah, that's not really that bad, and it is 9k, it beats being 8k though. So yeah. Alrighty. Well, that's the grade 2 lineup. Now for grade 1s. Let me just get them all up here. Alright. You have 4 Sentinel units, or Perfect Shields. They're Diamond Aces, and I got these when they were like $8 each, and now they're like 10 or 15, I believe. But yeah, like I said, for the way I always build decks though, you always gotta have 4 of these, and I got them while they were cheap, so yeah, that works out. Okay, next up we got 4 Dimensional Robo Dilander. So I was gonna put in Cosmo Beak in this deck until I found out, you know what? There's 4 of these in here though, and this is so much better than Cosmo Beak in my opinion though. Well, in a lot of people's. I mean, better in general. It's not just my opinion, though. It's other people's too, but yeah. Because Cosmo Beak requires 2 counterblasts to give a Dimension Police 4,000, but this one, you can just, whenever you just call it to the rear guard, you can just counterblast 1 and give any unit with Dimensional Robo in its name 4,000. So yeah. Again, so it beats paying a cost of 2 counterblasts, though, so since there's only 1 counterblast, though, too. Alrighty. Next up, we got the Dimensional Robo Die Mariner. And these guys are pretty good. These are 7k guys, and they look cool, and okay, oops, sorry, I almost knocked over the camera. Sorry. Well, it's my phone anyway, so what does it matter? But anyway, though, if this is one of the best units you need to start off with when you ride into your grade 1, because once you ride into grade 2, this unit will already be in the soul, so because that's how its ability is triggered, though. So when this card's in the soul, you can pretty much have it soul blast itself, and you can give a Dimension Please. Oh, it has to be a Vanguard. I don't know. I saw people powering up their rear guards too with this, though. So, but yeah, let me see. Let me get a focus here. Yeah, it has to be a Dimension Please Vanguard, so you can pretty much just power up your Vanguard by 3k, which is pretty helpful, really. But yeah, you should only really do this though if you actually do the superior ride with Daiyusha. So yeah, this is something you got. So triggering this ability is something you gotta really think about though, because if you don't do the superior ride, you only have like 3 cards in the soul, which is just enough to power up Great Daiyusha's Limit Break. But if you do that, then he'll lose the Limit Break ability though. So, but that's only if you do the superior cross ride though. Alrighty, and the last grade 1, which I only put 1 of, is Glory Maker. This is basically a 10k booster for Dimension Please, though. So basically, if you have 4 more cards in your damage zone, it'll gain 4,000 and be a 10k booster. So I only teched in 1 though because I thought, yeah, it's not a dimensional robo, and it's helpful if you actually get it though. So it's not something you have to rely on, because since he's already got hit for high numbers anyway though. But this is still a good thing to have, at least 1 for this deck. Alrighty, so that's all the grade 1s for this lineup. Now we go into the trigger lineup. Got the 4 critical triggers that are Justice Cobalt, the vanilla critical triggers, and another 4 critical, so that's 8 critical triggers in this deck. But this critical trigger is a dimensional robo as well, die battles. So basically, this is a unit that you pretty much only use if you actually do the superior crossride. So it's like this card's like Dilander. No, not Dilander. I meant Die Mariner. So if this card's in the soul, you can just have it soul blast itself and give a dimensional police Vanguard 3k. So yeah, it works though. So yeah, but then again, like I said, you have to do the Daiyusha crossride thingamajig. So yeah, so that's kind of. I was hoping that would land better, but yeah, 8 critical, and now we got 4 draw triggers of the deck. Army Penguin, and last but not least, your 4 heal triggers, Justice Rose, and it looks better than the other heal trigger from the set though for Dimension Police though. This looks better. Alrighty, so and with that, that's the whole deck. I mean, I played around with my brother's deck though because since I was making my friend this deck though. I want to test it out for myself just to get an idea on how the deck's supposed to run, and I thought, yeah, it's a fun deck, really. It's actually not as bad as, well, it's actually pretty powerful if you get off the whole cross-riding thing, or I think because everyone likes to swing for criticals, though, too, so. But then again, yeah, but this deck is just really fun to use, though. I know, I can see why there's people who like to use it, though, because I don't know, it just, I mean, who doesn't like giant robots and stuff, too? I mean, I do like watching shows like Gundam and stuff, too, but, yeah, like I said, this is a good deck, and, yeah, I know one of my other friends wants to make this deck, too, but, but yeah. Well, in any case, though, yeah, Craig, if you're watching this video, though, well, there's your deck, man, and it'll be ready for you for Anime Expo. Alrighty, and with that concludes this deck review, and I'll see you guys later, alright? This is Yusei, and I'll be signing off.